Okay, good morning everybody. This is just a very quick video. I wasn't intending doing a video, but this is the Harley Benton SC450 PLUS that I bought. As you can see, that I've got it stripped now with one of the pickups out. Now the reason I've got the pickup out of it is because I'm going to do the reverse polarity thing, the out of phase thing that was on Peter Green's and subsequently Gary Moore and now Kirk Hammett's Les Paul. Now, I've never done this before, so it just makes sense to use a cheap guitar like this to actually do it. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this is obviously the pickup, so I'm taking that, I've taken that out. I'm going to unsolder the joints here, take the magnet out, flip it over, put it back in, and then stick the pickup in the opposite way around, so that the screws are down this end facing the bridge as opposed to where they should be at the neck. That wasn't the reason I'm doing the video. I'm just letting you know the reason why I've got the thing undone. The reason I'm doing the video is I was led to believe that this was a veneer, that it was mahogany body and a maple veneer. However, if you look at this cavity, you can quite clearly see that there's a good 3/4 of an inch thick maple top on this, which I think is absolutely incredible. I mean, it's a really thick maple cap that's on this, so it's not a veneer, and you can see the difference in the woods. So this makes this even better value, to be honest with you. Once I've done this, I'm going to change out these things because they're terrible. They don't work, they jump all over the place, and the fretboard needs oiled. I'm going to do you can see here quite clearly the frets are needing a little bit of work as well. That's quite common for budget guitars up at this end of the fretboard to be the care not being taken. So, but you can see here the state of the fretboard. On closer inspection, these things always look a bit, they're always worse than they actually are. And this is the reason why they're not finished as well. This is the reason why they're budget. So I'm going to do all the work to it and get it back up and running, let you see it, and do a wee review after the work's been done. Alright, but I just wanted to show you that it's not a maple, it's not a veneer that's on this, it's an actual cap. And not only is it a cap, it's a thick cap. So, have a great day everybody, hope you're all well, see you soon, bye bye. Good morning ladies and gents, welcome back. It's Tuesday morning and we're going to be a special one today purely because of I'm sure that you've all heard of the sad death of Peter Green. Those of you that follow the channel will know that Peter Green was a very, very special hero of mine anyway, and was a massive influence on hundreds and thousands of guitarists the world over. Guys like Joe Bonamassa, Paul Kossoff, all these guys, Gary Moore, were all influenced very, very heavily by Peter Green. For those of you that don't know who he is and you're new to the channel, he was the founder of Fleetwood Mac. He followed Eric Clapton into John Mayall's Blues Breakers. If you haven't heard the album that he made with them, it's called Hard Road. Please go and listen to the album. It's absolutely, it's the best album in my opinion that John Mayall has ever done. So he then went on to form Fleetwood Mac and drafted in Mick Fleetwood and John McVie at that time, as well as Jeremy Spencer and Danny Kirwan. That was the original lineup of Fleetwood Mac. Peter Green was famed for his very, very tasteful guitar playing. He wasn't a whittler, he didn't have fast fingers or anything like that. He actually was a bit of a bass player and then went back to guitar after he heard Eric Clapton. But what it did have was just the most amazing touch and amazing feel and amazing tone. He was a brilliant songwriter, and he was a fantastic singer. He had a great voice, especially for the blues. And he's the only guitarist that's ever made me cry, physically cry, by hearing him. First time I heard Man of the World, I was in bits. I was in absolute tears. So his death really moved me. And it's been pretty much, I've been for about a day and a half, 2 days. I was really inconsolable, really heartbroken about it. And I know that might sound, you know, a bit melodramatic because I didn't personally know the man, but I think when you grow up listening to someone, and when someone influences you so heavily in your own life, in your own playing, I think that you feel as if you have a personal connection with them. And I felt as if I had that personal connection with Peter Green. He had a very sad life, to be quite frank with you. And if those of you that don't know about him, please go and research him. The guy was just he was totally egoless. You know, he didn't have any ego at all. And Mick Fleetwood actually said that. You know, material things didn't matter to him, and people mattered to him. You know, he liked spending time with people. He liked talking, and he liked telling stories and stuff like that. But he was the most wonderful guitarist, and he was famed for an out of phase sound, which is, if you notice this guitar here, what I've done with this guitar, you'll have seen in the intro, the mod that I was doing to this guitar. This is the Harley Benton SC450 PLUS. So it's a twin humbucker Les Paul style guitar. What Peter Green did, he sent his Les Paul, the 1959 Les Paul that he bought before he went into the Blues Breakers. And what he did was he put it into Selmers at that time down in London, to get a repair done, some sort of repair done. And the guy who actually did the repair made a bit of a balls up, to be honest with you, a happy, lucky balls up, but he made a bit of a balls up in that he put the magnet in the wrong way around. So if you can imagine, in this pickup here, the magnet, if that's north and that's south, that's the poles. You know that magnets have two poles, a north and a south pole. When whoever it was that repaired, I can't remember the guy's name, when he was putting the pickup back together again, he put the magnet in with the south pole up here and the north pole at the bottom, so the polarity was reversed. That's what reverse polarity means. It's that simple on this neck pickup. So he then put in the pickup the wrong way around as well, so that the screws here were facing the bridge instead of the neck. So what it did was it totally changed the sounding and gave it more of a Strat. I don't think it sounds like a Strat, but it's been described as more of a Strat sound from a Les Paul, and I suppose it is in a way. It's not your typical middle position. It only works on the middle position, and it's not your typical middle position on a Les Paul. I'll let you hear the different sounds. So this is the neck position, so it's exactly the same as it should be. So and this is a bridge position. Now when you flick that into the middle position now, it would normally give you that sort of nice, sweet sort of middle position that you get from twin humbuckers, but this gives you a completely different sound. So it's that out of phase position that Peter Green was famed for. Now, it's not all about just the positioning of the magnets. If you're wanting to sort of replicate this sound yourselves, Peter Green played about, as I do, with the volume and tone controls on his guitar. So on your tone controls, what you want to do here with this, regardless of whether you want it overdriven or you want it clean, Peter Green, it was that sort of just at the point of breakup that his sort of main sound was, I suppose. The bridge pickup, if you put everything to 10, keep the bridge pickup wide open, and then bring the neck pickup down slightly, will give you that nice sweet sound. As you're moving down, and the cleaner you want it to get, you keep that. So if you've got your bridge position at 5, you want your neck position at like 4 or 3.5, which is where I have it just now. As a matter of fact, I've got my bridge position sitting at 5 here, and I've got the neck position sitting just over 3.5, and that's what's giving me this sound. And that's that Peter Green sound. Now, I know it was different pickups and stuff like that. You can actually buy sort of replica pickups. I think Seymour Duncan do a set, a couple of other manufacturers, I'm sure Bare Knuckle do a set as well actually. But they're expensive, you know, so, but you can actually do this just with a magnet flip. I think it was reverse wound. The pickup that Peter Green got back from Selmer's had been reverse wound, and it had been done with heavy formvar wire as well. And they think that, I'm not sure if it was a magnet flip or not, but they think that was the reason why he got that sound. But you can do it just as easy by changing the poles on the magnet flip. So I'm going to get away now. I will do a separate video where I'll maybe do a couple of Peter Green numbers just as a little tribute, but I just wanted to let you know exactly what I've done with this guitar and what it sounds like. You can do it to your own guitar. It's a 15-20 minute job. So all you're doing is you're lifting this pickup out. On the bottom of the humbucker pickup, for those of you that have never seen the inside of one of these before, on the bottom of the humbucker pickup you have a plate, just a metal plate. There's 4 screws in the plate. Undo the 4 screws, take the plate off, and you will see the bar there. That's just a bar magnet. Now you don't want to flip it over like that. What you want to do is slide it out, and then you just want to turn it round. So you just want to do a 180 with it and put it back in like that, so that north is now there and south is now there. Don't turn it over. I made that mistake before, and it doesn't have any difference to your sound. Okay, so be careful not to flip it over. Then put the things back together again and get it back in. One thing I will say, and I do this with all my pickups, try and get your pickups as close to the body as you possibly can. A lot of people will have their pickups away up at the strings and stuff like that, and it actually takes your tone away. These pickups on the Harley Bentons, these Roswell pickups especially, they're really powerful pickups. If I do an AB with my Moan Gibson Les Paul, you will hear the power difference. These are much more powerful than the PAF style that's in my Les Paul. So, but try and get them as flat as you possibly can. If you look at photographs of Peter Green when he played with Fleetwood Mac, and when he played this Les Paul guitar, and even with Gary Moore, you know, the pickups were right the way into the pickup rings. So get them as flat, and this even goes with your single coils. Dan Patlansky did a good video regarding tone and strat tone. Try and get them as flat to the body as you possibly can. You've got to remember these are magnets, and what happens is when you strike the string oscillates like that, so it basically goes up and down in a sort of figure of 8 motion. And as that's doing that, the closer the pickups you have, the closer you have your pickups to the strings, the more the more the magnet is pulling the string down, and it gives it that sort of phasey sound which you don't want. It's not a good phase sound. So try and get your pickups as flat to the body as you possibly can, and it really does make for better tone. Then tweak your amp, and you will find you've got a much nicer, sweeter, clearer tone. So that's my tip for today. I hope you've all enjoyed the video. I will do a separate video with some Peter Green songs on it. I don't want to do it here because it just ruins the video, and I don't get any monetization or anything like that. Not that the monetization is an awful lot, but I'm fed up getting videos from, emails from YouTube telling me that I've breached copyright and stuff like that. It's just an absolute bloody nonsense for playing 10 seconds of a song or something like that, you know. So I can't be bothered with it. I will do a separate video where I'll maybe do sort of Loved Another Woman or Man of the World or something like that. So those of you that haven't heard of Peter Green, those of you that don't know anything about Peter Green and haven't listened to his music, please, please, please go and do so, even after Fleetwood Mac. Splinter Group was such an estimated, appreciated band, because some of the music that he did with the Splinter Group was absolutely brilliant. And he's just an amazing guitarist. He was a brilliant man, and I hope he's at peace now, because he certainly mentally wasn't at peace while he was here, very much, for much of the time. So listen, have a great day. I hope you're all getting past this virus, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Thanks very much. Cheers.